Hey Vlog Nation, been away for a while.
Happy New Year.
Someday. Okay. Coordinate plane. Do what?
We have to do this. Is this like really, really necessary?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go right now.
That's fine. Coordinate plane is a plane.
Whoa. No way.
Yep.
Wow.
Divided into one of them flies in the air and the other one is talking about just a two-dimensional space.
Does that one fly in the air?
This one does not fly in the air.
But bro, like the one that flies in the air.
Except for the other one's three-dimensional.
The one that flies in the air crashes.
You can't fly through the air in a two-dimensional space.
No, I don't never mind. You need to bring your spelling a little bit.
A plane divided into 4 regions used for graphing. Okay.
I'm so excited to learn this.
Oh, good. Well, I put 2 days worth of notes together, so we'll do all those today.
What?
I said I put 2 days of notes together, so we'll do all this today. Okay, so we're going to label children. You will have homework today.
What?
Yeah.
I have dance today and tomorrow and Wednesday. I can't do it. And tomorrow. Nobody asked me Friday.
I mean, the more y'all complain, the more homework you have.
Go homework. I love
because you're gonna have it regardless. Let's
Mr. Bennett.
I appreciate everyone's piss poor attitude, but we're still gonna do the notes today. So please just get over yourself and let's start math today. Okay? Okay. Label the origin, quadrants, x-axis and y-axis. First, the origin is going to be 0.00. Okay, the quadrants are designated by the separation that comes from which 2 lines? Yeah, so we've got the x-axis right here. We have the y-axis going vertically. And the quadrants are going to start with quadrant 1, but they go in counterclockwise order. Okay, so that is going to be quadrant 1, okay, which you will know as being plus, meaning that a point in that quadrant will be a positive x and a positive y. You have quadrant 2, which will be a negative, a negative plus. We then have quadrant 3, which will be what? Negative, negative. Then we'll have quadrant 4, which will be a positive, negative. Do we remember this? Yeah. It's just an I and a V. Okay? So, an ordered pair is just a point on a graph. X, Y. All right, so let's practice some. So we've got naming all of these different points. So you're going to designate what their actual ordered pair is and then what quadrant they fall into, just so we can get used to reading the coordinate plane. Point A, first, I guess the first question that I need to make sure that we're comfortable with is when you are locating these points and giving them a value, an ordered pair value, how are you counting them? Where's your starting point? So like if I'm going to measure A and figure out what its ordered pair is, how do I figure that out? Where do I start from? The origin, yeah. So we'll start from 0, 0, right here. And then I'm going to A. So I'm going to go to the left, 1, 2, 3. Now going to the left is traveling along which axis? X. And I went to the left, which is going to make it a negative 3. And then I need to go up, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is up along the y-axis. So the ordered pair for A would be negative 3, 4. What quadrant does that fall into? It would be 2. Okay? See if you can fill out B through F. You can help each other out if you need to. If it does not fall within a quadrant, it might fall on an axis. Just name that axis. Or those axes. Axes. Axis. Axis is one. Axes is plural. It would be axes. Yeah, it is. English is weird.
What was that?
My wife bought it for me.
Can you Wi-Fi me one?
I'll ask her.
I'll be her best friend.
You're gonna be her best friend? Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna be your best friend. No, I'm gonna be your wife's best friend.
Wait, no, it isn't. It's not. They like
Eighth grade?
Yes, like she said.
Thank you. All right, let's check them. That was dumb. What was it, a Post-it note? Okay, sorry. For letter B, we've got to the right 2 and down 3, located in quadrant 4. For letter C, we have to the right or left 0 and up 2. That would be on the y-axis. Okay, we have letter D, which is going to be to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 1. Understanding these quadrants, guys, will help you get your signs right. Really focus on trying to learn quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the plus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus, and plus, minus. It'll help, I promise. E. We're going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 4. Okay, and then down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a negative, negative, which will be quadrant 3. And then we have letter F, which is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And down or up 0. Just going to put us on the x-axis. Okay, any questions over that? Nice. Let's keep going. Yep. No, I don't. Sorry. Okay. Discrete graph is a graph of distinct points. So you would have points, 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 points. A continuous graph is going to be a graph with connected lines and curves. Some examples. And some more while you're catching up. Okay, so this next page that you have in your notes, okay, that says relations with kind of a long black bar that you turn horizontally, we're going to skip that for right now. And we're going to go on to the next page that says domain and range at the top. Want to make sure we talk about domain and range, a little input and output. And then we'll keep going. Okay? All right. So domain and range, okay? Domain and range are just talking about the, let's say we have a graph that has, for instance, like number 1 down here, okay? We have a graph that has multiple solutions on it, okay? Where do the solutions fall on this graph? Why is the line there? Why does that line exist? It's the solution, right? So any solution to this graph falls on this line somewhere, right? That's why graphs exist. Graphs are really just a representation of data points, okay? So when you see this line, what you're seeing is a trend, okay? And really what we're looking at is the data, okay? So domain and range is talking about the kind of set of data. Domain is dealing with X values, and range is dealing with Y values. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at is like total values left to right and total values up and down. That'll make more sense once we get going. Okay, so for domain, what you're going to do to kind of identify the domain is scan your pencil. Now, if we're talking X values, do you think we'd scan our pencil left to right or up and down? Left to right, because we're talking X values. Okay, so you're going to scan your pencil left to right. To identify the X values that you're touching. And then for range, you're going to scan your pencil. You can say top to bottom, bottom to top, whatever, up and down to identify the Y values. Okay, and then we're going to be writing these in some different kinds of notation. We don't really need to talk about them yet, but notation, again, is just the way that you write your answer. Okay, so let's look at number one. If we scan from left to right on number one, okay, with your pencil, everybody do it, start on the left, okay? As you start to scan across the right, you see the first little arrow pointing to the left, okay? Does that arrow stop? No. So what's the lowest value of this graph? Yes, but in which direction? Infinity is positive, so how do you make infinity negative? Just stick a negative in front of it. So it's just negative infinity, okay? So it starts at negative infinity, obviously, and then you're going to scan all the way across to the right, and we see another arrow on the right. So we have both of these right here, which means we're going infinitely in the negative direction. We're going infinitely in the right direction. So what are our total possible X values for this graph? It's going to be a symbol that looks like an R with an extra bar, and that stands for all real numbers. All real numbers. For the domain. The domain, again, is dealing with which values? The X or the Y's? The X. So the range is going to be dealing with Y values, when we're going to be moving up and down. So I always like to start at the bottom. You're welcome to start at the top. But I'm going to start at the bottom and I start to scan. What's the first thing I see if I scan from bottom to top? Yeah, so I wouldn't say, so this is more of, we'll just call it a point, right? This is a vertex of your line. This is where the two lines are intersecting, right? So what value is that, Y value wise? It helps if you look at the graph and not me. I know I'm beautiful, but I can't give you the answer. So -2, okay? So -2 is going to be the lowest possible value we have for Y. What's the highest? Well, if I continue scanning, I see an arrow right here. If I keep scanning, I see an arrow right here. Are they continuously going up? Yes. So those lines are both forever going out and forever going up. So how would I write all Y values above -2?
Like this sign.
Yeah. What kind of sign is that? Do you remember?
Like greater than or less.
Yes, an inequality. Y is greater than or equal to -2. This gets into, if we remember when working with inequalities, An or equal to symbol means you'd have a closed point. Okay? A line is a closed point. So you'd always have to include -2 since it's on the line. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 2. Number 2, we're going to start with the domain scanning left to right. Okay, so if I start scanning left to right, which everyone should be doing on their paper, what's the first thing I see? I see that left edge of the circle that crosses what x value? -3. And then if I keep scanning, it goes till which value? +3, right? So if I want to write this as an inequality, I've got -3 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal to 3. So you can just smush them together. And this, writing your inequalities like this might seem brand new to you. You will get very used to it over the incoming 2 years of math. Okay, do the same thing with range on your own. All right. Raise your hand if you would like to share your answer. Raise your hand if you would not like to share your answer. Brian. I'm really excited. All right, tell me what you think. What's the lowest possible value on your range? -3. Okay, and -3 is going to be less than what? Y or X? Y, because we're talking range. And then Y is going to be less than or equal to what? Yeah, good job. You did. You and the whispers. Okay, number 3. I would like for you to try 3 and 4 on your own. Si se puede. All right. Who thinks they've got the domain for number 3? Daniel, what do you think? Yeah, that's right. So we just scan from left to right. We see an arrow on the left, an arrow on the right. So it never stops. So you would have all real numbers. Okay. Now, you can write this symbol, or you can write out the words all real numbers. Both are correct. You could see both on a test. Okay. Or either, I guess, on a test. So I won't discriminate. Range. Audrey, what'd you get for range on number 3?
Okay, so it's -4 on the left side, and then on the y-axis, it's -1.
So what you're looking at is where they're crossing the axes, which you are correct. But what we're looking for is the range of that line. So how far does that line go? Up and down. Okay? Can somebody help her out? Jabron. Yeah, it's all real numbers also. Okay? So if we start from the bottom, we see the arrow. It's going down. Even though it's not going down at a steep slope, it's still forever going down. It's just going to take a lot longer to get to, negative infinity. Okay? And then on the top is the same thing. Okay? And I just moved my page all over the place. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Number 4. Domain for number 4. Ash, what did you get for the domain on number 4?
All real numbers.
You are correct. All real numbers.
What?
Yep, forever going to the left, forever going to the right. Because X does not care if you are going in the positive direction or the negative direction. Down and up. Only left to right. Okay? So number 4. With the range. What's the highest possible value of this graph, Langston, for the range? What you think? The highest value that you could have on number 4 for the range. How high does the graph go? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5. It's okay. That's why we're here. 5, right? We agree on 5? Okay, so how do we mark that the range is everything below 5, including 5? Y is greater than or less than? If we're saying greater than, then we're saying that 5 is the highest, not the lowest. Or the lowest, not the highest. So y is less than or equal to 5. Please try number 5 and number 6. Good job. Whack-a-mole would be terrified of you. You're welcome to work on your math notes also. Just FYI.
squares in our calculations? I don't know.
Okay, number 5. Don't be scared. I'm not getting enough interaction from you. Is it because I chastised you at the beginning?
You what?
It affected Yenny. I can tell. She's very hurt. Okay. I need you to be more mentally involved. Okay. You're not going to get this stuff if you just sit in here and go to sleep. I understand that it's not important to you, but I know for some of you, your grade is. So starting off the semester on a good foot is a good idea. Okay. This unit's not hard, but it'll be difficult if you don't pay attention. Okay. And if you don't participate. This is not complicated stuff. Okay, so there's really no math being done other than you're counting, and just looking for arrows. So let's just put forth like 10% more effort. Okay, 10% more. So number 5, what is the furthest? So I'm looking at the graph, right? I'm looking at this beautiful. What shape is this? Don't say diamond. It is a square / rhombus. Okay. Now it is a square because all the lengths are the same side and all the angles are the same angle measurement. But it is not. But that's fine. For Yenny, it's a trapezoid. Everyone else, it's a square or rhombus. Okay. So what is the furthest to the left? Okay, in the negative direction that this graph goes. Yeah, this line right here, right? That's as far to the left as it goes. So -1 is how I'm going to start writing my inequality. Okay? -1 is going to be greater or less than x. It's going to be less than x because it's behind it, right? It's over here. So x has to be this way. Okay? So I've got x in the middle. And then x is going to be less than what? Bless you, 5.
I got the numbers right. It's not the problem.
Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. Let's get the energy up. If we can really pump out these last few notes and I don't have to pull answers out of you like I'm pulling teeth at a dentist's office, I will not make you have any new homework today. And you can just finish working on your vocab if you need to. Okay. But if I feel like I should go back to school to be a dentist, then we will just have homework. I said go back to school. You think if I was a dentist, I love this job. You think if I was a dentist, I would be here? Maybe. I'm just like, yeah, I want to make $100,000 less than I'm making right now. Nice.
It seems fun.
All right, let's keep going.
Ripping out people's teeth. And like shaming them.
Okay, range. What's the lowest possible value for the range? -3. -3 is less than or equal to what? Y, which is less than or equal to 3. Nice. All right, let's go to number 6. Okay, number 6 might throw you off. Let's see how we do. Okay, let's think left to right. Left to right, what's our answer going to be for the domain, Ryan? If you can't get it in, he's ready to help.
I can phone a friend. I phone him. Wouldn't it be like -1, right?
So you don't want to think about where it's crossing anything. Look for arrows. You want to look for the end points of the line or the graph.
Would it be a real thingy?
It would be a real thingy. Can you sound a little mathier?
Oh, all real numbers.
All real numbers.
I did that. Wait, no, I did
Good job.
that.
Ryan did that and Ryan alone. Good job.
It smells like bread.
Range. Who wants to do the range? Kaylee. All real numbers.
No way, I got that right. Oh,
If it has, so have we figured out a trend? Listen, please. Have we figured out a trend? If it has arrows on both sides of the graph. R. Man. If I don't win Teacher of the Year, I don't know. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, heck yeah, there's a back.
What if it just flat?
My plan was to Okay, so now, at what point does having arrows on both sides not equate to all real numbers for both? Let's find out together. Number 7.
we're doing all of these.
Yes.
I love your thing is about to die.
Oh, thank you for telling me. That would have caused us a lot of time.
You should have let it die.
No, because I don't want to have more homework. I'm busy and
Try and do number, what is that, 7. Number 7 on your own.
Like that? It's not
Let it die.
that one number. See,
that one number.
There it is. We should be working on number 7.
It's the one where you go. Wait, where am I? like that one game where you go like ace, king, three, you do it match and you go for the cards. You know? I don't know. No, I can't. I know how to play goldfish. It's that game. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so for this one, when you see a pattern like this, and you will actually get used to seeing these, and maybe you already have in physics, okay? Yeah, because this replicates wavelengths, sound waves. It does not replicate. If your heartbeat is going like this, then you're not, okay. That's not what a heart does. Anyway, that would mean your heart's like revving up to the beat and then revving down to the beat, and that's not. You would need to see I would assume some sort of cardio.
A cardiologist.
What if you have cardiac arrest? Then you die.
No, actually, my grandpa survived 300.
Well, no, but a heart attack and cardiac arrest are different. What?
Really? Didn't you use something like that for 11 when she had the
Oh,
That's EKG. That's different. All right, this is not sound waves. This is what a sound wave looks like. Okay. Yeah, it's adorable. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you this is because this line right here technically is going to continue to go like this. Okay? It's not going to go like this. So if that changes your answer, I want to give you time to adjust. Okay? It is going to continue to go up and down in a wave like this. Okay? And whether y'all do it in Miss Peary's class or your physics class in high school, the sound wave sound unit is super cool. So anyway, are we good? Domain. Emma, what you think? How far to the left is it going? And what about to the right? So what's your answer? All real numbers. Good job. Okay. Range. Lizeth. What's the highest that it goes and the lowest that it goes? First start with the lowest. We're going up and down, right? Lowest. Let's start with the lowest. -3? Yeah, -3. -3 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to, what's the highest? 2. Good job. If you did it initially, assuming that those arrows were just continuing to go up, then your answer would look a little different. All right, 8. Nice. All right, so number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You are responsible for the rest of these. No, right now. They won't take you long. Maybe about, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Yes. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, 6.5. Okay, 6.5 minutes was negotiated and agreed upon. You're a bad negotiator. No. All right, Brian just took y'all down to 6 minutes.
Helen Keller. I think she's fake.
What do you mean you think she's fake?
Yeah, I think she's a big old fibber.
Well, I'm not sure. So you said she's fake, and then you said she's a fibber.
Yeah, I don't think she was.
So that's two different. So you think Helen Keller was real? You just think she was lying about being blind and deaf. Was she also mute?
No, he said water.
She said water.
You know, apparently Helen Keller flew a plane.
Yeah, how the heck did she do that?
I mean, if you but like if you've never been in the cockpit of a really small plane, anybody can fly a plane as long as you've got a pilot next to you. Like literally anybody. Well, no, but like I have technically flown a plane. So true story. A girl I did not date, but we were talking in high school. Her dad was in the Air Force, and they did like pilot training. And we had a Air Force base where I lived, and so he took me out there and took us up in his plane, and then he let me fly for a bit in the air, which was terrifying. But like literally, you just sit there, and like then if you accidentally do something wrong, he just takes over because he's got one in front of him, and then so like she could. And then, like, him just be like, yeah, you're doing great. So. I'm glad all of this is on my recording.
What if it's like not on the point? What if it's like in the middle of the screen? Or like a little bit.
On which one?
Right.
I would consider number 8 to be crossing at that intersection point. Right here? Is that what you're talking about?
No, on the y-axis.
Well, on the y-axis, it doesn't matter because of these.
Right.
Yep. Yenny.
I already did that.
They're fake. They're fake.
Helen Keller is fake.
Yeah, because how did she learn how to, if she couldn't even know what the letters were? You know? Yeah, that's just like, how did someone be like, this is a W?
I
How
mean-
did she know that was a W?
I mean, either, wasn't it Beethoven is deaf?
What?
Either Beethoven or Mozart was deaf, or partly deaf, and they composed music.
Partly deaf, so they could still hear.
I mean, I would have to do some research on it, but I'm pretty sure one of those two were deaf.
Like fully?
Yeah, I mean, like legally deaf.
Legally. You can be illegally deaf?
No, but like you are granted certain like disability rights, but you have to be at a certain threshold. Like I went to school with somebody, she was legally blind. Now she could still see, but she had like glasses that were this thick and she had to read stuff really close. So legally she was blind, but a ruler, a yardstick or a ruler?
No.
Yes.
That's a meter.
It was on. It's right there. Yep.
Yeah. How does she go like this underwater? Like, oh yeah, this is water. Let me just say water.
What does she mean?
How does she know what water is?
Well, I mean, is it going?
All of the above.
So. Okay. Let's look at these. Number 8. Our far left value for our domain is going to be what? -1. Okay. So we would say our domain is x is greater than or equal to -1. Range.
All real numbers.
is R.
I got
Yes.
that one right.
Okay. Number 9. All right, so this one is hard to see. Here are your axes.
It's axes.
You're right. What am I talking about? I only have gone to school for this. So.
I'm a lawyer.
I don't have a math degree.
I'm a lawyer.
Do what?
I'm a mathematical person.
I'm glad y'all listened to me. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, not in math. I'll work on that.
I'm a psychologist.
All right. It's a no. I'm not qualified. Sorry. I need more schooling. Okay. Let's keep going. Number 9. This class. All right. So how do we label the domain if it doesn't move to the left or the right? What is the value of x? 2. So how do you write that?
2. Go.
You can't just write 2. That's not specific. X is 2. Finally, we can start. Okay. X equals 2. Range. What is the range? R. R. Number 10. Thank you. Number 10. What is the domain? R. Range. What is the range? Y equals -4. I think we need to start being very intentional about the words that we say because I feel like they're translating to the work that we do. So if I say on number 10, what is the range? The most common answer that I heard was 4. But 4 is not actually even close to the answer. Okay? Start being really intentional about the words that you use in here. I promise it will help you retain information. So if I say what is the range on number 10, your answer should be y equals -4. Okay? Thank you. Number 11. Let me call on some people. Zoe, what'd you get for number 11? Jabron, what'd you get for number 11?
Why is it like that?
-2
It's hollow.
is less than x, and then y is equal to x.
-2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than, what'd you say? So this is exactly how it should look. So what do we notice is different about this one? It's hollow. So what does that change? Yes. Yes, you're going to have a very fun conversation to listen to about Helen Keller. So why is it empty right here? Why is this point? Yenny said hollow. Why is it hollow? You're not far off. Not far off. When we're talking about a graph, we're saying that the line of this graph is telling you where all the solutions are. So if there's a hole, what are we saying? Then you can't include that. So we notice that this inequality right here has an or equal to sign, right? What about this one? No. So we're saying that we can't include 5 in the solution. Okay? An open point means you don't have the or equal to part of your inequality. Okay? So I would write this out to the side. It's going to be a closed point. Okay? And then without the or equal to, you're going to have an open point. Your teacher would be very happy if you would remember that. Well, that's why I go to therapy. So everybody should go to therapy. If you go to the doctor twice a year just for health reasons, you should go to therapy. It's the same thing. That's okay. Well, if you believe in it, then when you turn 18, you can make your own decision. So, okay, range. I'm glad that this is on the recording as well. Me telling you to go against your parents' wishes. Okay, number 12. What do we get? Oh, so sorry. Yeah, we should do range. So the range will be, what's the lowest? Now this one's tough. This one always threw off my Algebra 2 students, my high schoolers, when they'd have a range where the low value is actually on the right-hand side of the graph because they're used to going left to right. So they would almost not even see this one right here. They would use this one as the low and this part as the high, and then we just kind of forget about this one over here. So make sure that you don't do that. That's why, and I like that these notes built it in, but that's why I always taught the pencil scan, because you'll never miss those if you just do the pencil scan, okay? Or the marker scan. My apologies, pen. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what's the low range? -2. Okay, is less than y, which is less than or equal to 1. Okay. Number 12. Who's confident? Jabron.
-4 is less than x, and x is less than 5.
Less than or equal to, because it's a close point. Okay. And then you said x, which is less than or equal to 5. Okay, we all feel good about that? Range. Zoe, you had your hand up. No? Daniel. Perfect. Okay, feel good about those? You'll get it. No worries. Okay, number 13. Let's see. Adam. Hi. Morning. What'd you get for the domain on number 13? Or what did Malcolm get? That's all right. Let's just look at it. That we've got that arrow on the left, right? Are you sure? Yeah. So if it's going forever to the left, what do we have there? It's going to negative, looks like an 8 sideways, negative infinity. Okay. So what's the highest possible value for x? How far does it go to the right? So to this point right here. Yeah, it goes over 2. So we've got x is less than 2. Do we need the or equal to? Why not? Because it's an open point. Right, Adam? Open point. Good. Malcolm, what'd you get for the range? You fools aren't going to get to sit back there anymore if you don't start working. Okay. Winter, you and Audrey, figure out the range. What do we get? Oh, wow. We're going to have to put up the markers. They're too distracting. Ryan, what'd you get for the range on number 13? Y is less than 0. Okay. Number 14. Our domain starts at -2 and goes to positive infinity. So it'll be x is greater than or equal to -2, -2. The range, we start with y is greater than or equal to -4. You have about 10 minutes if you need to work on some of your vocabulary. Please hold on to those notes. We will do one more section of notes on Wednesday. Then you will have your first homework assignment of the semester, not including the vocabulary. We will be taking a vocabulary quiz on Friday, so make sure that you're on those. It will be somewhere. It will not be multiple choice. It will be matching. You will have a word bank in the black crate over there on the wall.